In this video, we'll discuss whether your altcoin positions are safe. Should you be worried? Should you sell off? Is this a Bitcoin-only cycle, or is everything normal? With us once again on the verge of massive parabolic gains. You know what? Let me cut to the chase. No, I'm not worried about altcoins. No, I'm not selling off. No, this isn't just a Bitcoin cycle. Yes, I believe altcoins are still poised to deliver substantial 10x, 20x, and even 50x returns. I'll explain why, and I guarantee this video is packed with valuable insights that you'll enjoy. By the end, make sure to subscribe because finding this kind of content elsewhere is going to be tough. Many are worried about their altcoin positions. I'm seeing signs of capitulation across the board. It's the same story every time. A couple of months ago, I talked about the idea of a Bitcoin-only run, suggesting that altcoins wouldn't gain traction. Now, I feel the same way as I did then. Just recently, ELOT Trades shared the same sentiment I expressed back in December 2020 when Bitcoin was at $20,000, and the mood was heavily against altcoins. I was one of the few who spoke up back then, and I'm glad to see other prominent voices bringing this up now. But let me give you some reasons for my confidence. A big factor is the booming traditional markets, particularly the stock market. Remember, crypto is like a beta on stocks. On a day-to-day or week-to-week basis, it doesn't matter to me how closely stocks and crypto move together, whether stocks lead or crypto leads, or if they move in tandem. The discussion feels outdated. That's why I've never really mentioned it until now, but the current period is an exception. I think you'll find what I'm about to show you next very interesting. Here's the Meta Facebook chart on a monthly basis. Let's go back to when COVID struck, around March 2020. Meta dipped during COVID, but then skyrocketed to new highs. By August 2020, Meta had ranged for 7 months until March 2021. So we have a clear picture of Meta's performance from March 2020 to March 2021. Now let's look at Bitcoin during the same period. Bitcoin also bounced back from its COVID low, but not as sharply as Meta. While Meta experienced a huge surge into August, Bitcoin was relatively slow until August. Then, from October onwards, Bitcoin saw a huge parabolic rise, climbing from $10,000 to $65,000. Guess which month Bitcoin peaked? That would be March 2021. During Bitcoin's explosive growth, Meta remained stagnant, going crazy only in the earlier phase, while Bitcoin stayed steady. Let's delve deeper. After March 2021, Meta entered its second leg of the bull cycle, posting a significant rise from March to August. However, during the same period, Bitcoin had a substantial decline from its peak. Meta then entered a decline from September to November, while Bitcoin surged during its second phase of the bull market. Moving into 2022, both Meta and Bitcoin saw significant downturns in the bear market. In summary, what did we observe? Even during a bull market, when both stocks and crypto were soaring, they didn't move in sync. This disconnect happens because people make easy money from rising stocks and then use those gains to speculate on Bitcoin and crypto for leverage. And it's not just Meta. All top stocks behaved similarly in the last bull market. Look at Nvidia, the poster boy of this cycle. After a strong bounce in March 2020, Nvidia peaked in September. Bitcoin then surged until April 2021. The same pattern occurred with Amazon and Apple. This should come as no surprise. It mirrors the GameStop saga of the previous cycle. People made massive gains on GameStop in January 2021, and then funneled those profits into Dogecoin, which shot up from half a cent to over 70 cents. Just as retail investors rotate money, so do whales between blue-chip stocks and Bitcoin. You might be wondering, what does this have to do with now? Well, if you haven't noticed, Nvidia, Apple, Microsoft, Alphabet, and Meta are all in a bull market, making new highs, while Bitcoin is accumulating at all-time highs. Take note, when Nvidia peaks, Bitcoin takes off. There's even a chart to illustrate this. Look up Bitcoin USD versus Nvidia in 2017. Bitcoin broke out against Nvidia from May to December. In October 2020, Bitcoin broke out again until March 2021, during which Bitcoin's price soared. Now, observe Bitcoin's current chart. It has skyrocketed from $16,000 to $70,000, yet the Bitcoin versus Nvidia breakout hasn't happened in this cycle. It's at its lowest level since 2017. Two scenarios could unfold. Bitcoin could permanently decline against Nvidia, or we're still waiting for the BTC breakout against Nvidia, which in the past led to significant upside against the US dollar. Remember, stocks are soaring, but Bitcoin remains within its range compared to the previous cycle. This is why I'm still bullish on crypto markets and altcoins, and I haven't given up. A while back, I said that if your portfolio could match Bitcoin's performance up to its peak, you'd make a lot of money. With BTC up about 4x from its lows, if your portfolio is also up 4x, that's excellent. Just as stock liquidity flows into Bitcoin at its peak, Bitcoin's liquidity then flows into altcoins. Matching BTC's performance at that point is a huge achievement. If BTC peaks at 8x its lows and reaches $120,000, and your portfolio is at least 8x up, you'll likely end up with a 20x return or more. However, I wouldn't worry too much about your altcoins because, although they're significantly down, this isn't unusual. Take bittensor, for example. TOA is one of my largest altcoin investments this cycle. Since its peak of around $750 in early March, it's down almost 60%. That's concerning, and rightly so. My entry wasn't the best. It was around $100. So my investment increased eightfold, but then halved to its current price. That's a tough hit, especially if you're not used to it. But again, this isn't unusual to me. Bittensor will be one of the top projects this cycle, and if I look at similar projects in previous cycles, they followed the same pattern. For example, Chainlink went up 800% from its lows and then dropped 90%. Solana, another great example, launched relatively unknown, formed a base, and then surged 700% from that base, only to give back 80%. TOA has risen 1,500% from its base and has now retraced 60%. Terra Luna soared 5,500% and then fell 80%. However, these initial drops often precede the massive gains we frequently reference. Chainlink and Solana eventually increased by thousands of percent. Even Solana, after a 65% drop, experienced a 1,000% recovery. The key takeaway is that these downturns are normal. If you endured the 2022-2023 bear market, you invested in certain projects because you believed in them. Don't doubt your decisions. You allocated your capital for a reason. Reacting impulsively to daily fluctuations and contemplating a complete portfolio overhaul disrespects all the time and effort you've invested over the past 2 years. It's like spinning a roulette wheel and stopping it halfway. It's easy to do, but quite